And now,
Sneaks
it's time
and
for
Snitches
another Dice
by
Tower review with Tom
Vlada
Vasel.
Chvátil, a very talented designer who seems to be trying to make a game in every genre possible. And now it's here from Griffin Games. In fact, you would think it fit into their numbered line, but it doesn't, but it really works well in that regard. This is a game for up to 6 players, and in it, players are simply sending out snitches and sneaks to different locations trying to get the most jewels of a color. It's one of those games where you're basically just trying to outguess the other players. That is the extent of the game, but there's a little bit more to that. Let's look at it. A certain number of location cards is placed out on the table. Depends on how many people are playing the game. And then a loot card is placed under each of them. Now these loot cards show what loot you're going to get if you go to that location. So for example, here you get 3 gold. And in this game, gold is represented by little yellow cubes. You got red, yellow, green, and blue cubes. And then so here you get 2 blue. Here you get 1 of each, 2 yellow. This is not worth any cubes, but you just hang on to it for the whole game, and at the end of the game it's worth a victory point. 4 green, 4 yellow, and 1 of each. And there's different cards that do different things as the game progresses. Cards that let you switch cubes for other cubes. Cards that make everybody with blue cubes lose half of the ones that they have in front of them. And so there's different cubes that are in the course of this game. Each player then has 1 card that they have in front of them, like this. And then they are given cards that basically just show all the different letters that are being played. And they're going to send out 1 sneak and 1 snitch. They'll put the snitch up here, and they'll put the sneak on the side over here. Everyone does it simultaneously. They're revealed, and then they're placed. The sneaks go underneath, and the snitches go on top. And then we resolve the round. Now, if there is multiple snitches on sneaks on the bottom, or even just 1 sneak, it doesn't matter. If there's any sneaks in the bottom, but there's a snitch on the top, he cancels out the sneaks. Ha ha, nobody gets anything. If there's a sneak on the bottom and no snitch at the top, then the card goes away, and he takes whatever the card would be. If there's no snitch on the top, and there's just a bunch of sneaks here, neither one of them gets the treasure. Instead, they draw cards from this, and these cards will show 1 icon of the different things. That doesn't seem like it's a lot, but at least you can keep these cards secret while the rest of your jewels that you have are well known. So that's basically the course of the game. The ones that people got, or the ones that nobody went for, are removed. More cards are brought out, lined up. You start another round. You keep going until the end of the game. Now the end of the game is where it's interesting. Depending on how many players are in the game. Here's a 4-player game, for example. Whoever has the most blue gems is going to get 3 points. Whoever has the most green gems gets 3, second most gets 2, and you can see how red and yellow follow that pattern. So it doesn't really matter how many you have, just how many you have relative to the other players. And this changes depending on how many players are in the game. And then of course there's other points that you could have gotten, like this card here. Player with the most points is the winner of the game. The game lasts about 15 to 20 minutes. I like Sneaks and Snitches because it's so quick, so easy, and it's one of those games where everyone's laughing and saying, seriously, why are you picking the same thing as me every single turn? You look at the card, say there's 4 blue gems there, and there's 3 here. Well, if I go for the 4, someone's sure to block that, but if I go for the 3, no one's going to block that. But they may think that I'm going to think that, so they'll block the 3, so I can counteract that by going to the 4. However, they may realize that I'm smart enough to do that, and therefore, which cup am I going to drink the poison from? It's back and forth, and it's a lot of fun because it goes so quickly. This may never become what we term a great game, but it's one of those games that when you get together at the beginning of a gaming group, this is the one you pull out and play quickly, goes so fast, lots of fun, and it should play out differently each time. And you only have 2 decisions to make each turn. Easy.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.